Brian Kavanagh, there's been a lot said and written about Aidan O'Brien by the international racing community over the last number of days, and every bit of it is warranted and justified. It's a terrific achievement, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what more can be said about Aidan, but you know, this is really a wonderful achievement, and I think everyone in Irish racing is really proud of him, really proud of the achievements he's done. You know, I suppose we've become used to Aidan breaking records, but I think this is a very special one. It's a world record. It's never been done before by any other trainer anywhere in the world, and great credit is due to Aidan and the team at Ballydoyle, and everyone here in Horse Racing Ireland sends our heartiest congratulations to him.
Aidan, of course, is a very humble soul, Brian, and he tends obviously to play down his achievements, but it's very, very hard to hide this one. I mean, this is one that will resonate throughout racing for a long number of years to come.
Yeah, and I don't think he's finished yet. He's already on his way over to the Breeders' Cup for the racing this weekend. He was unlucky that the races were cancelled in France yesterday, so he's got some more bullets to fire this season alone. But yeah, it's a record that probably will stand for a long time, unless he breaks it himself, which is possibly the most likely thing that might happen. But yeah, it's great.
Bobby Frankel broke Aidan's original record about 14 years ago, and it stood for those 14 years. Now, he's gotten close on a few occasions to it, but he has a chance, as you say, on this occasion with approximately 20 Group 1s left over the course of the remainder of the season to pull away and maybe set a record that might last for a long time, Brian.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not worrying too much about setting a record for all time. He just wants to look at the next race, but looking at his record in the Breeders' Cup and looking at the strength of the team he's sending over there this weekend, you know, you'd have to be optimistic that he'll get a winner or two. But overall, you know, this reflects the achievements of a season, and as I'm sure Aidan himself will say, the efforts of a huge team down in Ballydoyle.
To put the record into perspective, when you look at these 26 Group 1 wins at this juncture, at this point in the season, if you take the top 6 or 7 trainers in the UK combined, they actually haven't that amount of Group 1 wins this season, so that's extraordinary.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you know, we're sort of taking the extraordinary as normal now. I mean, he's champion trainer in Britain, based in Ireland, you know, that's a fantastic achievement. That doesn't happen that often. You know, his wins are spread throughout all the categories, you know, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, fillies, colts, older horses, sprinters, you know, stayers. So it's a fantastic achievement, and you know, looking at the 2-year-olds that he's turned out in the last few months, you know, the production line seems to be going strong for next year as well.
I suppose he appears to have been around for most of our careers, Brian. He's been training over 20 years, but he's still only 48 years of age, and people don't realise that he started training very, very young. So, you know, there's still a long number of chapters in the Aidan O'Brien story to come.
Oh, I wouldn't be writing Aidan O'Brien off. He's a young man, he's raised a family, he's, as you say, he started training when he was very young. And I think this is the thing, sometimes people say, you know, he's got great ammunition at his disposal, but, you know, Aidan was doing, you know, remarkable things, you know, when he was training in his own right with more modest horses. You know, so the skill level was there from the start, and the intuition with horses. And I think, you know, the thing about Aidan that we all recognise is he's an absolute gentleman. He's a pleasure to deal with. You know, he must be operating in a very stressful environment, you know, and still he seems to always have time for everybody. He's you know, he's a very proud family man, and you know, he's a credit to himself, and you know, as I say, it's a pleasure to deal with him.